What's up there, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you for joining me for another episode of Road to Regionals, where I attempt to do well for your viewing pleasure and try to become a better commentator, which really isn't working out very well because this is like my second video that I've made in about a year. But we're going to try. We are going to try, and I'm going to try to do good. And we didn't do too good in our last episode. I made some bold predictions, and I really didn't have the room to. I didn't need to. So I'm going to try to work on that and not make those bold predictions and just play safe, especially on the lower ladder, because you have no idea who you're going to be playing against unless you see a very familiar name that you're playing against. I don't really memorize many people's names, but it's kind of hard to miss some of those names that you've played against at tournaments and with big name players. But that's besides the point. Like, you have no idea who you're playing against in lower ladders. You see right there, I'm 1 and 2, and I could have easily have went 3 and 0. We're going to be facing Ben from the United Kingdom, 1487. Good luck, Ben. We're in a 1400 right now. We're going to have to climb ourselves out. If I don't climb myself out, then I'm probably just going to end up resetting my ranking. But Ben's going to have a team of Alolan Ninetales Raichu, Alolan Raichu, Alolan Muck, a lot of Alolan forms, Arcanine, Celesteela, and Tapu Lele. Okay, so we're probably gonna see. Well, it really doesn't make sense to have the Raichu and the Lele in the front because you don't take advantage of Surge Surfer, and you can't fake out because of the terrain. Also could see a Shattered Psyche, but I mean, it's really not going to be doing all too much to Tapu Lele if I do decide to lead that, as well as my Mandibuzz. Tapu Lele could possibly lead too, get a Moonblast on my Mandibuzz. I mean, Raichu could just, they definitely could double up into it, but unless this is like a Specs Lele or a Life Orb Lele, I can't really see it knocking out, the double up knocking out my Mandibuzz. I could very well lead that, but I could definitely see a Muck leading too. Muck is so good against this team, other than the Garchomp. Let me see. Let me think about my options right now. Honestly, I think Garchomp's a pretty good lead against the Raichu, the Muck. I'm actually going to lead that. If he does want to lead the Lele, I'm going to lead my Celesteela. It's a really, really good lead. What else do I want to ring in the back? I think I'm going to end up having to bring my Arcanine's pretty bulky. He can take hits, take care of his Celesteela. Communication with the server was interrupted. Well, now. Hopefully that was not on our end, but it looked like it was, and I really hope this isn't going to be a reoccurrent thing, because I did have a problem with disconnections in ORAS when I was trying to record, and I would get maybe, like, I would have to say at least 50 to 60% of my losses were due to disconnections, and I am literally right next to my router. The only thing I could possibly do up to this point is to plug my 3DS into the router, and I can't do that. So that was a disconnection on our part. Yeah, so hopefully we can get at least 2 games in on here. So that was a disconnect. Hopefully it didn't take any points away, didn't give us a loss or anything like that, because we're already in the 1400s. I don't really feel like digging myself in a bigger hole. Like I said, if we dig ourselves into a bigger hole, probably just going to reset my ranking, play some games off camera so I can get my ranking a little high, because that's really what I want to do. I want to play against the higher ranked players, and I really don't have the time to play the games off camera right now, because I literally just got home from work and I have to go out in a little bit. So we're going to connect to the internet right here. Anyway, the new rule sets were announced as of yesterday. I had actually posted a video and reflected on that and gave my opinion about the format. It looks really, really interesting. All of the Mega Evolutions are allowed because all items are allowed, which is really, really cool. I am definitely into that. Not a lot of people are really into that, so, I mean, there's like conflicting opinions, there's mixed emotions about this format. Soldew is also allowed on Latios and Latios. We don't know whether or not we're going to be able to catch Latios or Latios in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. You know, we don't know what type of teams people are going to be using. We can't really base that off of doubles on, Battle Spot doubles right now, because we don't. It's not going to be the same format. It's not going to be the same format because, again, you don't know what type of legendaries are going to be obtainable in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. You could very well not have the genies be in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, so we can't really speculate up until this point until we're given a list of Pokemon that are obtainable in Pokemon it's like a mouthful just trying to say this. Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. I mean, they could give out event legendaries literally throughout the entire season, throughout the first year of Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon being released. So, you know, 6 months later, maybe after the New Year's, you could have the genies given out over a period of time, maybe as mystery gifts, or you go into the GameStop. Then at that point, they become legal. You can use them in the VGC format, but they weren't obtainable in the game, therefore you weren't able to use them up until that point, until they are released. Just like Static Zapdos or like Flame Body Moltres, like we could not use them in VGC 16 until they were actually released as events. And events as restricting as the ones in Japan are still legal to use because they can trade them to other people around the world. So, you know, I could definitely see, you know, Game Freak putting wormholes in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon because it does make a lot more sense than it did with the Hoopa Rings in ORAS. So we're probably going to see something like that, but again, they don't have to put all the legendaries in the game. Anyway, I'm going to see what the problem is right here. It should not have connection issues. I'm connected to the internet on my computer right now. My router is right there. I'm looking at it. Anyway, I'll catch you guys in a second, and hopefully we can find a battle. We're back. Hopefully this works. And we did, unfortunately, receive a loss for that disconnection when we didn't even get into the battle in the first place. So nice, my internet giving me a loss right there. Well, it could have very well handed me my first loss, considering the fact that I should have won 3 games in the previous episode. Anyway, no more disconnections. Hopefully, this will all work out. I don't know what else I could do better. I just restart my router, so hopefully everything will work as intended. Waiting for our next player right here. I think just to continue what I was talking about before, about the 2018 format, also about the future of these episodes, Dominic from Germany. I'm going to continue using the format that we're going to be playing with for this entire year until I believe Sun and Moon comes out, Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon comes out, because it's really, I'm going to be playing in tournaments. So I mean, this is my way of practicing. So I'm going to keep using the 2017 format. Anyway, Dominic's going to have a team of Tapu Koko, Whimsicott. Oh my God, I hate Whimsicott. Tapu Koko, Whimsicott, Tapu Fini, Celesteela, Porygon 2, and Gigalith. This is a terrifying team if I've ever seen one. Oh my goodness, this is a bad team to be playing against. Oh my goodness. What do I even do? Because even if he can very well lead his Tapu Koko and his Whimsicott, he can Volt Switch out and then go for the... Well, he actually can't go for it into Mandibuzz. Maybe I have to just go for that. If he does lead the Porygon 2, which I don't anticipate him leading, I can always taunt it. I think I'm just going to go straight up Tapu Lele, Mandibuzz, be obvious right here. I'm going to bring the Garchomp. Garchomp is just a boss, and I really feel tempted to bring the Arcanine right here, but he also has a Gigalith and a Fini. I really want to bring the Celesteela for that combination, and I can also switch it in on a possible Earthquake as well. So let's see how well we do in this matchup. I really don't like my matchup to begin with. Fini is already a problem for this team, but Gigalith in Trick Room is just the worst. And this is one of the reasons why I didn't want to bring my Arcanine. Plus, I think there was only, what, 1 physical attacker on his team, so the Intimidate really wasn't going to mean anything unless he brings his Gigalith. I can't believe this. Gigalith in the front, that's weird. I mean, usually you bring the Gigalith in the front to win the Weather Wars against, like, Torkoal, Lilligant, or something like that, but majority of the time you don't see it leading against other teams. I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense. He leads the Tapu Fini, anticipating my Tapu Lele lead, so that he can get up the train, but he doesn't know that I am actually slower than him. And he leads the Gigalith so that he can get off either a Rock Slide or a Continental Crush against my Mandibuzz. Probably anticipating a Tailwind. Now, there's nothing preventing me from getting up a Tailwind right here, even if he does Continental Crush. If I get up a Tailwind, he actually gives me a free switch in. If I would have had a guess, he would probably going to go for a Continental Crush into the Tapu Lele, or just protect his Gigalith, anticipating a double up into it, because that's something I definitely can do right now. It's something that I'm actually feeling right now. I don't know what the Fini wants to do. Probably set up a Calm Mind. This is kind of risky. I don't know. Let's see if this combination does take it out. As a calculation, here's again, Tapu Finis with Calm Minds are annoying as... They're annoying. They are so annoying. Alright, let's see. He obviously didn't protect, so hopefully this foul play does a considerable amount of damage. Actually, is a pretty good amount of damage. I don't think the Psychic will knock him out, though, because he is getting the special defense boost. And he's probably going to go into the Feeny. This goes into the Mana Buzz. The Mana Buzz is out of here. But at the same time, I can bring in my... I guess I can bring my Celesteela. I guess. But he's still going for the Muddy Waters. So yeah, that special defense boost definitely helped him out right there. Should have went for a Tailwind right there. Now, like, because if I would have went for a Tailwind right there, I would have been able to get the Garchomp in. Well, the Celesteela, actually. I can go for, I guess, like the Leech Seeds and a Feeny. I guess it really wouldn't have mattered. It's just that this Feeny's outspeeding my Tapu Lele right now, which is kind of annoying. Gonna bring in the Garchomp right here. I'm gonna bring in a Garchomp. Now, he can go for the Moonblast. Gigalith might protect, it might switch out. If I had to guess, it will probably switch out into... Well, I can go for an Earthquake right now and protect my Feeny. It's something that he probably is anticipating, so he might not want to switch the Coco in or anything else in on this Earthquake. Let's say what he has in the back. It could be the Whimsicott. Might not want to break the Focus Sash. It could be either the Porygon. It probably will be the Porygon if I had to guess. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to protect right now. No. What am I doing? Moonblast. And then protect. I'm protecting the Moonblast away. I'm getting chip damage on... I timed out. Oh my goodness, I gotta stop talking so much. That did so much damage to the Feeny. That is not a defensive Feeny. Wow, that did a lot of damage. It's gonna go for the Moonblast. I did a Garchomp. This is why I wanted to protect. So this is gonna be like a thrown away game right now. I really have to stop talking so much. This has the potential to get the special attack drop as well. That did so much damage as well. Is his Pokemon EV'd? Procs the Berry. Which would have been fine. If the Earthquake did that much damage, the following turn whatchamacallit, the Z move for the ground would have definitely taken the Feeny out. I didn't want to knock out the Gigalith because the Gigalith really wasn't doing anything. I couldn't have knocked out my Tapu Lele. It had already wasted its Z move. I needed to get the Protect right there. If I get the Protect, I think I win. I really think I win. Celesteela is in the... Alright, I'm bringing my Celesteela in. Let's see what he brings in. Tapu Koko comes in. That's fine. I mean, I would have had my Garchomp in here. What is he going to do? He's going to Dazzling Gleam. I could have taken that easily. I think I could take 3 Dazzling Gleams from a non-lifed Orb Koko. That's really disappointing. Like, it's really, really disappointing. He's going to Muddy Water, and obviously he's going to go into the Celesteela right here. So, I kind of have to... The Muddy Water might knock out the Lele in this range. It's really nothing to think about right here. He's going to go into the Celesteela with the Koko. And he's probably going to Muddy Water with the Feeny. I'm going to have to hope for like a Muddy Water miss onto my Lele, get some chip damage onto the Koko, because I can survive at least one Thunderbolt. Nope, he's just going to call my Protect, so that's GG. Should have got the Protect off. I hit the Protect, so that's kind of odd. I'm just going to forfeit. There's no way I can win against this. Alright. So we're going to get into our next game right here. So, wow, man. So I do like incredibly well at the tournament, and then I'm doing this bad on Battle Spot. I mean, I am talking way too much, and I'm not really concentrating on the time, and the time's running out, and it's selecting moves for me, where I should be selecting the moves on my own. I think we're just going to, like, select the moves and then talk about, like, reflect on my decision-making afterwards. I think that's something I'm going to have to do. So, obviously, it's showing that I haven't made videos in quite some time because I'm not paying attention to the timer. That was a relatively easy game to win, yet again. There's really nothing to reflect on in that game. I know exactly what I did wrong. I talked way too much, I didn't pay attention to the timer, and I didn't get off the move that I wanted to do. We're going to continue battling. I do apologize. These videos will hopefully get better as I play more. I guess we're going to do Guzma's team again. This is now we're getting to the bottom of the barrel right here. A 1300s player. So I think if I lose to this guy, I'm just going to reset my ranking because I do not want to be playing against these teams. I mean, you had to have lost a lot of matches to be in the 1300s, unfortunately. So we're going to have the Slowbro, Arcanine, Xurkitree, Flygon, which is pretty cool. It gets Stab Earth Power, and it's levitating. Although there's no other Earthquake users on his team, he might have Bulldoze on the Arcanine, Mach. And the Tabu Koko, I like his team. I really do like his team. It's competitive, so I'm not going to take his rating for granted. I'm not. So I could definitely see the Muck coming in the front. I mean, I see Muck and Koko. I can see Koko and Xurkitree. I could probably survive. He might have the Z move on Xurkitree. So what do I leave? Do I leave just the Mandibuzz and the Lele? I think I do. I don't think any combination of moves on his side will be able to take me out. If he leaves a Cerebral, I can taunt it. Or it could have Oblivious, actually. That's bad. If it has Oblivious, it's pretty bad. He does have a lot of things weak to Bulldoze. He's got too many things that can hit Celesteela, so I'm actually going to bring my Arcanine right here. I can Bulldoze, I can Flare Blitz into the things, I can Will-O-Wisp the Muck. Let's see how this wants to play out. This is going to be a funny video, I can already tell. Alright, so what do you got first, Joey? I just love this team. Everyone's probably like, oh man, I'm getting sick of this team. I love this team. It's the best team in the entire game. Probably my best team of all time. Like, I don't think I've ever listened to a theme as much as I have listened to this one. So the Slowbro is going to be coming in here. I really don't want to taunt it, considering the fact that it does get Oblivious, but a lot of trainers do opt for Regenerate so they could switch out and preserve it for later. But Oblivious is just such... It's a way better... it's a way better ability, in my opinion. You can always have a berry on Slowbro. So I'm actually just going to taunt the Slowbro, see what's up, see if it does have Regenerator or Oblivious. And then I'm thinking about what I should do with the Lele. I could bring in Garchomp on the Lele slot in case he decides. He's going to want to get super effective damage on an Mandibuzz. I think I'm okay to just go for a Calm Mind. If he does Trick Room, I'll outspeed the Xurkitree with my Lele. So there we go. It's going to Dazzling Gleam, so it's not going to do too much to my Lele. It actually does way more than I thought it would do. Maybe it's Specs. Ah, it can't be Specs. That's not Specs damage onto the Mandibuzz. So he fell for the taunt. Yeah, so he... I hope he's not going with a Trick Room. Maybe he thinks I'm a fast Lele. Nah, he just goes for the Scald. Into the Lele. It's not going to be doing too much. Hopefully he doesn't get the burn. He does get the burn. Which might actually not be too bad because I think a Dazzling Gleam and... I don't think a Dazzling Gleam and Skull will knock me out. I think a Dazzling Gleam bring me in range for the berry, actually. Just surprised he went for a Scold and not like a Trick Room or something like that because he could think that I'm a fast Lele, but he might have a lot of speed investment in his Xurkitree. Or just anticipate the Tailwind to just counter that with a Trick Room. So now that he's taunted, I'm actually going to go for a Tailwind right here. I don't mind him going for the Dazzling Gleam because it's not going to knock up my Lele. It's going to proc my berry if he switches out with the Xurkitree. If he Scolds into my Lele, the burn will bring me down to my berry. And now I'm going to actually start going for some Psychics now that I am +1. There's nothing that wants to switch into a Psychic other than the Muck. And I could just Moonblast that the next turn. I'm just going to stay in. I'm not going to... This is not going to take me out. It's going to proc my berry. I'm not going to try to overextend anymore, so I'm just going to do the safe plays. I'm going to go for the Talons right here. I'll be able to outspeed the Xurkitree the following turn if I don't knock it out right here, which I should. And then I can go for a Snarl next turn. Wow. I can still go for a Snarl. Snarl will knock him out if it does hit. So it's actually, I think that's pretty good that, and he gets another burn. Dude, Skull's got like a 100% chance to burn. Right now it does. 30% chance is now 100%. Alright, so definitely going for a Snarl. I'm going to go for a Snarl right here. He might protect the Xurkitree, so I'm not going to double up into it. Otherwise, I would double up into it, and just in case the Snarl did miss. And then I'm just going to go for a Moonblast onto the Slowbro. Just get some damage onto it. Its taunt should be wearing off after this turn. Haven't seen a Focus-Sash Xurkitree in quite some time. Normally, you see bulky Xurkitrees with either Citrus Berry or Pinch Berry. Z-moves. I played against a Z-move Xurkitree at Hartford Regionals, which absolutely decimated my team. Normally, Xurkitree doesn't give me too many problems, considering the fact that I have a Guard Chop on my team. Should do a good amount of damage. There we go. I believe Slowbro is the physically defensive of the bros. And then we have Slowking, which is the specially defensive of the bros. So I think that's why that did so much damage to the Slowbro. I think the next one will be able to knock it out. Let's see what he brings in after this. If he brings in the Tapu Koko, we will still outspeed. Taunt wears off. I should be able to knock it out with a combination of a Snarl and a Moonblast anyway. And Slowbro should not have Protect. It shouldn't. It might. Tapu Koko is going to come in here. So depending on what the Tapu Koko does, it's going to get stalled right here. I think I have to worry about the Slowbro. It's not really doing anything, and it's definitely not going to Trick Room with the Koko on the field. With 17 any turns of Trick Room, Tailwind I have left, 2 more turns to take advantage of. I'm actually just going to go for a... Ooh, you know what? I might want to switch into my Guard Chomp right here. In case the Koko protects, and then the next turn I could still take advantage of the Tailwind. Although he might go for a Skull and then an Amanda Buzz, but I think he would want to get more damage on the Tapu Lele since I have a Calm Mind up. I don't really want to risk a burn right here. Actually, I'm just going to stay in. I'm just going to stay in. Again, I am overextending. I should be doing this. So, I'm not really all too worried about the Slowbro, so I'm going to Moonblast into the Tapu Koko, and I'm talking way too much. So I'm going to outspeed the Koko right here. Slowbro actually is going to Protect, so I literally just said that it normally doesn't carry Protect, but it carries Protect right here. Probably carrying a Protect for like the Z move from the Kartanas, or just Leaf Blades in general. So it's going to take down the Tapu Koko's special attack, which is really nice. We're going to get a Psychic off into the Tapu Koko, whereas I wanted to Moonblast, but we timed out yet again. But this looks like just a clean win right here. Should be just clicking moves a lot faster, just so that you don't have to be sitting through this. We're definitely going to be doing a match after this. This is like a wreck of an episode right now. Hopefully we can find a highly ranked opponent. I really don't care who we play. And Flygon's going to come in. We'll outspeed the Flygon this turn. We'll go for a Moonblast. And that should be game unless the Flygon does want to Protect, but we're going to go for another Snarl into the Slowbro. It's not going to be able to do much. And that should be pretty much it. I mean, I don't know. I got the Guard Chomp in the back. I can't Earthquake the Flygon. I have Poison Jab. It's not going to be doing too much to the Flygon, but I do have the Arcanine. Ooh, I don't know. The Flygon protects right here, and then the following turn it knocks out my Tapu Lele. It's not looking too good. But at least we get a Snarl on the Slowbro, so depending on what the Flygon wants to go for, possibly a Rock Slide. If he doesn't Protect, but he doesn't Protect. So let's see, if this is a physical or a... Well, probably not even going to be able to see because I'm going to get the Moonblast off before the Flygon's able to Protect. But it's interesting to see what kind of sets the Flygon is running. He does get Dragon Dance as of this generation, so... Probably like Dragon Dance, Protect, Earthquake, and Dragon Claw, or maybe something like some other like coverage move. Yeah, the Heal Pulse wasn't going to be doing too much with that Moonblast. Alright. So clean victory. We're going to clean this game up right now. I am just going to click Foul Play and then Moonblast, and that is GG's. Opponent might just end up forfeiting anyway, or just play the last turn out because obviously I'm going to be able to knock him out. But hopefully, I really hope we can find another opponent, a good opponent, and then I do well, and then not talk forever when I'm trying to select a move. Really, dude. There's absolutely no reason for that other than the troll right now. Last night after I did that video for VGC 18, I was actually starting to think about some really good Pokemon to use in the format. Now, obviously, you have your Megas, but I was trying to think of like a team in which I could actually take advantage of Gardevoir, and again, Gardevoir and Moongus is probably going to be a really, really good core. Give Gardevoir Trick Room. Since Kangaskhan actually was nerfed, I mean, it's still going to be the most popular Mega. Kangaskhan's Parental Bond, wow. Kangaskhan's Parental Bond ability got nerfed so that I believe it only does like 25% on the second hit instead of 50%. I'm not too sure on those statistics, but as far as I'm aware, that's how it works. So Moongus actually will be taking less damage from the Kangaskhan, which is awesome because put a Rocky Helmet on that thing and just Rage Powder, and then it's so viable in the Trick Room. I'm just really excited, but although you got to watch out for the Z moves, and the Z moves have the potential to do a lot of damage to a Moongus, especially just knock it out in one turn. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to fast forward this right here. Okay, he's not going to protect. Thank God. This should definitely knock him out. I don't know why he was protecting right there. So, GG's, Joey. We finally got a win. I think our record's going to be, what, like 2-4 or something like that? So we're going to do another battle, and then if that's another quick battle, we'll probably do another battle after that. So hopefully we could just find someone really quick and then not get a DC. So after I did fix that DC error, it looks like it's working now. I hope my web camera is working properly. 60 frames per second is high resolution, so it's a lot better than the other camera I was using. I bought this to stream with in 60 frames per second because when I was using my other camera, it would actually downscale it to 30 frames per second. Since my camera I was recording with wasn't in 60 frames per second, so I ended up buying this for streaming, and I just don't stream anymore because I don't have the time. I was streaming Splatoon there for a while, and I have my Switch actually right next to me, and for whatever reason, the Switch is having the hardest time trying to connect to Wi-Fi, and it keeps getting disconnections. And I was to the point where I was going to do a direct connection from the Switch to the router, but there's no Ethernet. There's no Ethernet import in there. There's a USB, so I can get a USB to Ethernet adapter, but I don't know why Nintendo does that. Like, just put an Ethernet cord. It's been out since, like, the Xbox in, like, the old days, and they decide not to have an Ethernet in their system. So I was playing Splatoon 2, and I was getting all these disconnections when I was playing Salmon Run. I was playing online to the point where it would become so debilitating I couldn't even play online anymore. So I kind of just stopped playing that game, and I stopped streaming in general because I didn't really have the time to do that. I was getting really involved in work, and I was getting ready to play, you know, in the 2018 season, in which I am right now, and I have 60 out of 400 points, so I am, you know, almost there, maybe like, what is it, like 18% the way there, so it's not too bad. So, Luis Angel from New York, 1509, so player in the 1500s, which is good. We have Tapu Fini, Porygon 2, Muck, Arcanine, Garchomp, and the Alolan Ninetales. Okay, so it's going to lead the Fini. Question is, who else did he lead? I'd imagine the Muck, because my obvious lead right here, and he's probably like, well, this guy's rated pretty low. He's probably not going to do anything other than lead the Lele and the Mandibuzz, so I can kind of take advantage of that and lead the Garchomp. But question is, who else do I lead? Because if he leads the Fini, that leaves me open for a Moonblast. And there's really nothing else that I could possibly lead other than the Lele and the Garchomp to two-shot his Fini. He could lead the Fini and the Ninetales to get up the Aurora Veil, and then my Ground EMZ, my Ground EMZ and my Psychic will not knock him out at that point. So we're in a tricky position right here, and if it does lead the Porygon, I can't taunt it. So I'm gonna lead the Garchomp regardless of what he leads. I never bring my Snorlax. I really never see the need to. I'm actually gonna lead the Lele right here. What else could be useful right here? Not thinking that the Arcanine is particularly useful right here. I can get an Intimidate down on his Arcanine and his Garchomp. Doesn't really do too much to the Porygon. I could possibly get a Will-O-Wisp onto the Muck. I just don't see a need for Snorlax on this team. Obviously, someone else who's been playing VGC VGC 17 for quite some time, would probably find way more uses for Snorlax than I can on this team. Obviously, with a Porygon 2 on this team, I'd be inclined to bring it, but I just don't feel comfortable bringing it because I don't know how to use it, and he does bring the Porygon 2 on the front. Why would you lead Porygon 2 and Garchomp against a Lele and a Mandibuzz? That kind of doesn't make any sense. Probably to get up the Trick Room on my Tailwind, but I mean, if I don't Tailwind, you're helping me out because then I outspeed with both of my Pokemon onto your Garchomp. And Ice Beam really doesn't do too much to either of my Pokemon. So that really doesn't make any sense at all. What should I do now? Who do I have in the back here? Because he's probably going to Ice Beam this slot. Could very well go for the Ground EMZ into my Tapu Lele. It won't knock out with an Intimidate. He also could go for a Ground EMZ and Ice Beam into the Garchomp. So I'm going to... This is what I'm going to anticipate. I'm going to anticipate the Ice Beam into the Garchomp. So I'm going to go into my Arcanine, and then he's going to Ground EMZ into my Lele, and I'm going to Moonblast the Garchomp. This should... I don't think this knocks out bulky Garchomps, but if this is not a bulky Garchomp, this will knock it out. So we're going to get an Intimidate off. This is strictly for the Garchomp on his side. So he's going to go for the Ground EMZ. He has to go into the Lele, because the Porygon 2's got the Garchomp covered. So this should not knock out my Lele, bring me down the berry, and I'll proc my berry. So this should put me in a good position. Yep, so there we go. The only thing is, I can't bluff. It doesn't bring me down the berry. Ah, that's concerning. I thought it would. I should definitely EV to... I should definitely EV for that to bring me down to my berry. You know what I think I did EV for? I think I EV'd... Yep, there we go. Do not get a freeze. Thank you. I think I EV'd my Tapu Lele to survive a Ground EMZ from a Jolly Garchomp without an Intimidate. I think that's why it didn't bring me down the berry. And that's kind of concerning right now because it's an Arcanine on the field, and I don't feel very comfortable that I will be able to outspeed this Arcanine. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go for a Bulldoze right here because the Porygon 2 is definitely not going to go for a Trick Room. And then I'm going to go for a Protect right here. Therefore, the next turn, my Lele will be able to outspeed the Arcanine, but he then can go for Protect. Don't tell me he's going for an Ice Beam into my Tapu Lele. That would proc my berry. He has to know that I'm bulky Lele. If he goes for a Trick Room, I don't mind. I should be able to outspeed the Arcanine. Try attack. Huh. Okay. That may have been able to knock me out. Okay, now we're in a tricky position right now. Try attack. I'd be inclined to switch in Celesteal on the Tapu Lele slot, but an Arcanine is on the field at the moment. Alright, so what do I do? Huh. I don't know why the Arcanine on the other field, on the other side of the field, would go for... I'm gonna go for a Psychic right here. I think the Arcanine's gonna go for a Flare Blitz into my Tapu Lele, but he's not. Alright, well, if I get the special defense drop right here, that would be very, very useful. Although, I'm not going to be able to get the Will-O-Wisp off into the Porygon. What was he thinking? That I was going to, I guess, go for the attack into the Arcanine, which I did, but he could have easily... And that doesn't... Yeah, okay. I thought it would take me out, but, I mean, again, I am very, very bulky. Leftovers. Wonder what kind of Feeny this is. If I had to guess, this is going to be a... Alright, I'm going to switch in my Celesteal right there onto my Arcanine. Probably going to go for a Muddy Water, which is okay. Shouldn't take out my Tapu Lele. And I'm just going to get some damage onto the Tapu Fini. It's not going to protect. It should not protect, and he should not go for the Trick Room. We've seen Ice Beam, try attack, it probably has Trick Room and recover. Porygon 2 switches into the Arcanine. Maybe anticipating a Celesteela switch? I don't know. It's going to get the Intimidate down on my Celesteela, which is kind of crappy. Hopefully, he goes for... Okay, he goes for the Muddy Water. That would have taken out my Arcanine. I could have just bulldozed it and protect. He gets the accuracy drop. Oh, Muddy Water. How I love you. Should do a lot of damage to the Tapu Fini. Okay, so that's a... I don't know. Doesn't look like a 2-hit KO with the leftovers, and he's probably going to end up protecting right here. He can Extreme Speed now, although Extreme Speed won't knock out the Tapu Lele. Alright, so... Probably Flare Blitz into the... Let's see here. Alright, what I'm going to do is I am going to switch into my Garchomp right here. I think he's just going to go for a Muddy Water or a Protect onto the Tapu Fini. He's definitely either going to go for a Flare Blitz into my Lele or into my Celesteela slot. And I'm just going to sack my Fini. I'm going to sack my Lele. I don't want to knock out the Tapu Fini because I want to keep it in here, because what I'm going for is my Tapu Lele goes down right here. I bring in my Celesteela on the Tapu Lele slot, and then I Earthquake, or I go for a Tectonic Rage into the Fini. Hopefully this... Oh, you can't burn me. Forgot about the terrain. Because then Tectonic Rage should knock out through Protect, depending on how much damage it does. It's going to go for a Muddy Water, okay. Hopefully no accuracy drops. And it doesn't knock out my Lele. Huh. This will bring him in range for an Earthquake, though. And Tapu Fini should be in range for an Earthquake as well. Garchomp really doesn't threaten, so I'm actually going to... Let's see, what does he have in the back? Does he have a Celesteela in the back? Anything that's flying? Nope. So I am going to go for a Tectonic Rage into the Tapu Fini. He can't burn me with his Arcanine. He could go for a Flare Blitz into the following turn. He could go for an Extreme Speed. So... If that's the case, I'm going to bring out my Lele and then switch it in on a possible Extreme Speed on the following turn so he can't knock out my Garchomp. So I have Lele right here. I'm going to switch into my Celesteela right here on my Tapu Lele slot so that I can Earthquake the following turn as well. Arcanine's going to come out. Porygon 2 is going to come in. Let's see if the Fini protects. It should. Because the Fini is the only thing that's really threatening me right now, so I'm inclined to attack into the Fini. Although he is in Earthquake range. And he's not going to protect, okay. So maybe going for that Joshua Lorsey mindset. Do not protect in front of a Garchomp, as it will set up a Swords Dance in front of you. Which I did not this time, and I just went for the straight up KO. And I did this so I can get a lot of chip in through a... Protect, potentially knocking it out, and I don't think I would have knocked it out if he did Protect. This Tapu Fini is pretty damn bulky, but it's going to go down right here. He's probably going to bring in his... He has his Garchomp, right? Going to get some leftovers recovery right here. So Arcanine's probably going to come in and get an Intimidate. And then I think I will bring in my Arcanine to Intimidate. Let's see what I do right here. I think I let the Arcanine... I'm going to bring out my... I'm going to bring an Arcanine right here. I'm going to Intimidate down on his Arcanine, because if he Flare Blitzes into my Celesteela, it won't knock it out, and then he'll knock himself out with Flare Blitz Recoil. And I'm going to go for a Lead Seed into the Porygon. This is covering for the Ice Beam. If he goes for the Tri-Attack, it's not knocking out my Arcanine. Goes for the Trick Room, good for him. Gotta get the Intimidate down. See what he does. Arcanine protects. Okay, that's perfectly fine. Probably matching my Protect on my Celesteela, but I didn't Protect. There's no reason for me to, because the Flare Blitz, even without the Intimidate, still wouldn't have knocked me out. See, that's the bad thing about... Arcanine. I mean, I love it to death. It has so much utility. It's just that it can't handle Celesteelas as well as Marowak can. Marowak, most of the time, will be able to OHKO it because it's just so incredibly strong with the Thick Club, whereas Arcanine's not necessarily that strong. It can whittle you away with Will-O-Wisp and Flare Blitzes and recover with the Berry. But that's the thing. Once its Berry is gone, which I don't think I proc this one's Berry, so I think I'm going to end up wanting... I think I'm going to want to knock it out right here. Question is, how do I do that? I think I'm just going to go ahead and go for the Leech Seed into the Arcanine, and I'm going to... Well, he only has the Arcanine, so I'm actually going to Flare Blitz into the Arcanine. And a Flare Blitz into the Arcanine, and then there's really no reason for me to attack right here. I'm just letting him get free damage. Actually, no. Yeah, I'm going to Protect right here. And then I could just follow with the Bulldoze in the following turn. Arcanine... Oh, he's going to forfeit, okay. Arcanine literally can knock himself out. Like, in the range in which that Arcanine was in right there, I had a full health Celesteela. The Arcanine would have ended up knocking itself out with Recoil. Potentially even before it could proc its Berry. Because it takes the Recoil before the Berry. So it doesn't handle the Celesteelas all too well. Like I had my Celesteela at Hartford Regionals when I was playing against Paul Chua, and my Celesteela literally 2v1'd his Arcanine. Granted, it was intimidated twice, and his Celesteela, and I was able to do that because number one, his Arcanine was intimidated twice. If he would have Flare Blitzed into my Celesteela, it would have knocked him out, and it wouldn't have done too much to me anyway. And he was keeping his Arcanine around to get extra recovery onto his Celesteela because that was his win condition. But yeah, it's not really that great of an answer. Anyway, Hardo, I don't know where Hardo is from. I did not see. He was 1400s players. Got Slow King, Tapu Bulu, Gastrodon, Mudsdale, Vikavolt, and Marowak. This is a Trick Room team if I have ever seen one. Okay. Okay. Does the Slow King have Oblivious on it? With a team like this, I can only imagine that it will. I could definitely see, like, Slow King, Vikavolt leading, Slow King, Bulu. How do I deal with the Slow King? Slow King, from my knowledge, is very defensive. If he doesn't lead the Blue, he's probably going to be inclined to switch it in on my Garchomp. Who else? I'm going to probably end up having to go for the double. Actually, this might be one game where I want to bring my Snorlax. I have Facade on my Snorlax, though. I'm going to bring Snorlax. Arcanine, Arcanine, Arcanine. I'm going to bring Arcanine. YOLO, let's do this. I don't care anymore. Let's do this right now. Bringing my Snorlax in the front because this is a heavy Trick Room team and I can kind of counter that. The only thing that probably give me a problem would be his Marowak. It's the only problem with like hard Trick Room teams. You have to watch out for other people who are bringing their Trick Room counters such as Gigalith and Snorlax. I do have some speed investment in my Snorlax. Tapu Bulu and the Snorlax, okay? So I'm going to have to watch out for a... I'm going to have to watch out for a Bloom Doom into my Snorlax. Still won't knock me out, but he could double up into the Snorlax, which would be fine because if I'm able to get my Tectonic Rage off, it's going to take out the Slow King. So that's exactly... Ooh, I have Poison Jab. Bulu could go for the Bloom Doom into my Garchomp. I'm more concerned about him getting up a Trick Room right now. He could very well protect his Slow King, anticipating a Tectonic Rage into it. So, if that's going to be the case, I'm going to Belly Drum right now. Nothing on his team has Haze or anything like that, or could have Haze, so I'm not worrying about that. This should be able to take out the Slow King. Yeah, Slowbro is definitely the more physically defensive one. That's why a lot of them tend to run Column Line to compensate for its special defense. So this should take out the Slowbro. I am adamant. I should have facade it! I was like, maybe I should facade. But here's the Bloom Doom. This is probably going to be going into the Garchomp. I could have poison jabbed. But if I let him get up to Trick Room, then I'm in a little bit of a predicament right here. No, into the Slowbro. Okay. Well, I'm not going to be able to Belly Drum. That knocks out a critical hit, of course. Oh, man, I should have... Well, the double up really wouldn't have mattered. So the crit right there, that's just devastating. Like, the crit right there literally is devastating. Because Slowbro would have survived that. I would have been able to facade the Slowking the following turn. Taking that out. And then I could have poison jabbed into the Bulu. The Bulu can't knock out my Garchomp with anything that it has, even a Wood Hammer. God damn it. I'm gonna bring in my Arcanine right here. Because I'll be able to get Intimidated on the top of Bulu, so that hopefully a double up won't be able to knock out my Garchomp, and then I can go for a Poison Jab into the top of Bulu. And then I should be able to knock out the Slowking with a Flare Blitz, so I'll be in a pretty good position at that point. Yeah, that's definitely what I'm going to be going for right here, because the top of Bulu's in Trick Room right now. He's not going to be inclined to protect. He's probably going to end up going for the double up into the Garchomp. Maybe he will switch out his Bulu into the Marowak because of the Arcanine right here. Or he can go into the Gastrodon. Hell, he can go in anyone, except the Vikavolt. So what do I want to do right here? Probably not. He's probably going to go like a Wood Hammer or something like that into the Garchomp. So I'm just going to play it safe. I'm not going to, overextend like I normally do. I'm going to go for a Flare Blitz into the Slowking. The Flare Blitz will knock out the Slowking. Slowking's actually going to retreat. It's going to bring in the Mudsdale, so it's going to do a considerable amount of damage to the Mudsdale. It could potentially get the burn. He's going to go for a Wood Hammer, likely into the Garchomp slot. There we go. So it's going to do a lot of damage. Get Rough Skin, doesn't matter. I'm going to be taking him out with the Poison Jab. Could have very well Swords Danced and Flare Blitz into his Bulu, but that's way too risky. That's way too risky. Man, that Bloom Doom crit really does hurt right now. So, Bulu's going to be out of here. Okay. Alright, let's see who he brings in. The Terrain's going to be helping me out right here. And I did not see whether or not that Mudsdale got a stamina boost. Wasn't paying attention to that. I honestly don't think it did. I can check on the bottom screen here in just a second. And if it didn't, I don't know. I don't necessarily know how it works. Like, I really don't. Alright, let's see. I did get a stamina boost, okay. Mudsdale's gonna go for a high horsepower into the Arcanine. And Marowak's gonna go for a Shadow Bone into the Garchomp. I'm gonna Earthquake right here. Shadow Bone should knock out the Garchomp. I don't know. It may not. Could see a double up. I could bring in the Lele right here, but it's so risky in case he doubles up into the Arcanine. So I'm going to go for a Will-O-Wisp into the Mudsdale, actually. I know I'm going to be Earthquaking my own Arcanine right here, but I anticipate it to go down anyway. Yeah. Alright, so it's going to go down. So I could have very well protected right there. The high horsepower is really obvious. Does this knock out? Yeah, it knocks out. So that's one way that your Hard Trick Room team works. You just get lucky with a crit Bloom Doom. I honestly thought he was going to go Bloom Doom into the Garchomp, but he probably figures after I get up my Trick Room, it's not really going to matter. So, damn. I cannot believe he definitely EV'd for Tectonic Rage not to knock out. That, man, that's ridiculous. Should have double protected because I would have been able to bring my Lele and then protect the last turn of Trick Room away. So that's just me playing like an idiot. But, whatever. I play way better at tournaments, so I'm not going to really worry all too much about that. So in this, I honestly... I mean, I could have very well doubled up into the Slowbro to prevent the Trick Room from going up, because I would have been able to get Facade off if I didn't get crit, but that was really my only play. So I should have led, like, Tapu Lele and Garchomp. So, okay, so well, that's good information to know. That does not knock me out. Procs my berry, but Jeff Bone's definitely going to knock me out. It's a game I should have brought Celesteela to, although there's a Marowak on the other team, but if I would have gotten rid of the Marowak, I probably would have had a pretty good time against this Mudsdale and the Slow King in the back. We're going to play one more. I can't end the episode like this. That loss right there, that's an easy win. I mean, you got to think to yourself, though, there's no way the Slow King's going to end up surviving this Tectonic Rage. I don't know that calculation because I never see Slow Kings ever. Although, like, Marcus Statter was using it at Worlds with some success with Smeargle, Xurkitree. I think it's Xurkitree. I know I had a Persian and Garchomp. Not Garchomp, a Gyarados with Z Parting Shot, which was pretty cool. 3 and 5. So definitely resetting my ranking after this episode. Just don't feel like doing it right now. I want to get that last battle in because I'm itching for a win right now, so we can go a nice 4 and 5. Actually, a 4 and 4, but considering that the one loss was due to a disconnect. So let's see who we can actually find right here. Yeah, and some changes I definitely want to make to this team. Increase the Arcanine speed so that I can outspeed a Tapu Koko, timid Tapu Koko after a Bulldoze. I like the Lele, I like the Mandibuzz, I really like the Garchomp. The Snorlax literally is almost useless on this team. If I had to make one change to the Snorlax, if I didn't take it off of the team, probably be High Horsepower over Protect. So we're going to be playing against Mattia from Italy. So the Battle of the 1400s. He's going to have a Trick Room team as well. He's got 2 Trick Room setters between the Mimikyu and the Oranguru. Also, he's got a Snorlax, Arcanine, Tapu Lele, and a Feeny. Dual Tapus. Those are 2 Tapus you don't normally see together too much. Probably has the Lele for, I guess, like Snap Psychics from Oranguru, but I don't know. Or maybe for the fake outs. Anyway, I'm going to go... Okay, I'm going to go with a lead based off of his Mimikyu Snorlax lead. So it's definitely going to be Mandibuzz. Mandibuzz. I could go Mandibuzz Arcanine. I could taunt the Mimikyu. And Will-O-Wisp Snorlax. Actually, no. I'm just going to go Tapu Lele right here. Although the Psychic Steed is really not going to do too much because... Nah. Screw it. I'm going to bring it. And then Celesteela looks pretty good in this match. Yep. So that's exactly what I'm going to go with right here. I'm not even going to bring the Arcanine. I'm just going to use the Foul Play to keep the Snorlax in check. Nothing he leads can really take out my Mandibuzz. I don't really want to get a Tailwind up, considering the fact that I probably will be faster than everything on his team, barring the Arcanine and the Lele. Lele and Mimikyu. You'll never see this. I don't know what he's going with, but I don't know what he's intending to do with this lead. Unless he doubles up into the Mandibuzz with, like, a Play Rough and Moonblast? Not even that will knock me out. Unless he has, like, a Ferium Z on his Mimikyu, which he very well could have, because I played a lot of them at the Hartford Regionals. He could go for a Trick Room. He could go for the Trick Room. I don't know who got up the terrain last. I can never tell when 2 of the same Tapus lead. Could go for a Trick Room right here, anticipating my Tailwind. That would make so much sense to protect his Lele. If he doesn't do that, then he's probably going to double up into my Mandibuzz. So it's a 50-50. You could double up into my Mandibuzz, anticipating a Tailwind. There's also Trick Room, anticipating a Tailwind. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to Taunt right here. I don't think he... You know what? I'm going to go for a Tailwind, and then I'm going to Protect. Hopefully I got the Protect off. He could have a Ghostium Z as well. I didn't get the protect off yet again. I'm talking way too much. Let's see if he goes for a Trick Room or a Play Rough, though. A Shadow Claw onto the Lele. Okay, it's not going to do too much. Bring me down on my berry. That does a lot more damage than I thought it did. Of course, it gets a crit. It's Crit City in here. Crit City in here. Although, it does kind of help me out, maybe. Because it allows me to proc my berry. And I'm going to get a Psychic off. Hopefully into the Mimikyu. Yeah, great. Into the Mimikyu. Because this will take out special defense drop. That's beautiful. Because now I can Psychic into the Mimikyu. That will be able to knock out the following turn. I'll be able to outspeed it. And Mimikyus typically don't carry Protect. And then now I can go for a Snarl into the Tapu Lele. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Let's see what he has in the back. I don't think he has anything to switch in. I don't think he has a Muck, does he? No. Even if he switches into Oranguru is going to take a lot of damage. We're in Psychic Terrain. He cannot change the terrains unless he switches in his Feeny. And if the Feeny switches into the Mimikyu slot, it's going to get Snarled and take a lot of damage from the Psychic. Alright. So the Mimikyu is going to be going down right here. We're going to be reducing the Tapu Lele's special attack, which is great. Because he's not going to be able to do too much to my Tapu Fini, and he's not going to be able to take out the... critical hit did not matter right there whatsoever, even if it was a bulky Mimikyu, because it did have the special defense drop. It's going to keep on going into the Mandibuzz. Obviously, not assessing the threat on the field, which is Tapu Lele. He needs to get like some form of chip damage onto my Tapu Lele so that the partner Pokemon that he brings in following turn be able to knock it out somehow. Because... The previous turn, he did not know I have Snarl on my Mandibuzz. Typically, Mandibuzzes carry Ruse, Foul Play, Taunt, and Tailwind. So, I mean, he has to go off that. I don't have Snarl, so I can't reduce his special attack. And then he has to attack into the Tapu Lele so that he could potentially Flare Blitz into my Lele because Arcanines usually survive Psychics. Anyway, we have a Tailwinds up right now. I believe we have 2 more turns of Tailwinds right now. I'm not too threatened by the Tapu Lele. If he takes out my Mandibuzz, it's perfectly fine. I'm going to take out his Arcanine right here. If he ends up protecting with the Arcanine, it's fine to get another Snarl into the Tapu Lele. And his Moonblast might not actually be able to take my Mandibuzz out. Then we'll have one more turn of Tailwind after this, and then I could potentially Foul Play into the Arcanine. I don't think this is... Wow, that's really bulky. That might be Assault Vest. Psychic in Psychic Terrain, and it did that much damage. I really think that's Assault Vest Arcanine. Flamethrower. Oh, that's even better. It's Special Arcanine, because I got a Snarl off into it. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Alright. Now what I can do is, I can bring in my Garchomp. I can Earthquake. I will take out the Arcanine. How many Snarls did I get off into the Tapu Lele? I got 2 Snarls onto it. Not worried about damage onto my Garchomp. The Earthquake will be able to take out the Arcanine. I'll be able to outspeed it, obviously. I'm going to bring in my Celesteal right here, because if he wants to Moonblast Psychic to my Tapu Lele, it's not going to do too much. But he should be Moonblasting into the Garchomp, because it's the obvious threat protecting his Arcanine. But as I had said, it's probably Assault Vest, so he can't even protect with his Arcanine. Now I'm going to Earthquake right here. Probably going to see a Moonblast into the Garchomp, but I'm bulky. Even at neutral, Tapu Lele can't knock out my Garchomp. So, definitely not at -2. Arcanine goes down. No more threat to my Celesteal. And Celesteal should just be able to wrap this up depending on what he has in the back. Actually, it does a lot more damage than I anticipated. That could potentially be Specs Feeny. Huh. Yeah, because it did about half damage to my Mandibuzz with a Psychic Seed. And I'm all special defense and HP with my Mandibuzz. So I think that's Specs. Alright, so... What I do here is I Tectonic Rage. Well, there's no read to Tectonic Rage right here because I could just Earthquake. I could take out the Lele, and then I can Heavy Slam. Huh. Yeah, let's do it because it'll bring it down past its berry range, or at least it should, so that it can't Belly Drum. But on the off chance that I'm gonna do that into Snorlax because I was gonna say I could just go for it into Lele, but the Lele really isn't. It's Scarfed. Okay. I wasn't anticipating that, so that's bad. That's pretty bad because he's gonna get a Belly Drum up. Huh. I wasn't thinking about that potential. And he's going to belly drown. I have the back. I have the Lele in the back, right? How much the Heavy Slam do? I'll be able to get Psychic Terrain up. I'm not worried about the Lele right now. He's got to be worried about my Lele. Lele's locked into Moonblast. Alright, what did I show earlier? I showed Psychic. Did I show anything other than Psychic? No. So he might think I'm Specs, so he probably will go into my Tapu Lele with his Snorlax. And then I'm going to set up some seeds on the Snorlax. The Snorlax actually might go for a Recycle as well. But the Lele should also be inclined to attack into my Lele. So he's probably going to go for a Moonblast into the Lele. Yep. And he's probably going to go for a Recycle. Lead Seeds hit. Good. Return. Oh, okay. Into the Celesteela. Wow, that does a lot of damage. Why do I keep getting crit? I was going to say that shouldn't even do half damage. I don't care if you're at +6, dude. Alright. I'm going to protect Celesteela right here. I'm going to Psychic into the Snorlax, protect Celesteela. If the Lele goes down, it's fine. Lele can't do much, and then I can follow up with the Heavy Slam into the Snorlax the following turn. I need to get some HP back onto the Celesteela, and then have some Leech Seed chip onto the Snorlax. Communications with the server were interrupted. Are you kidding me? Oh my goodness, dude. Alright, so I'm not even going to be able to see what he did right there. Oh man. That was coming down to the wire right now. Like, there's so many things that just happened in this episode that make me not want to put this on YouTube, but I already put so much time into this video, so I'm like, why not? That's a really frustrating episode. Because right there, what I do is, I outspeed his Snorlax, I get a lot of damage onto his Snorlax, I go for a Psychic, and then I get some Leech Seed recovery onto my Celesteela. He actually could go for a, whatchamacallit, a Recycle, and then call my Protect onto my Celesteela, considering the fact that he did so much damage to it. That would be a really good call, and then he knocks out my Lele with a Moonblast, so I could have thrown that game away, but, dude, the crits in this episode were absolutely insane. I single-handedly lost the game because of a crit, because he Trick Rooms, and then my Snorlax doesn't get crit, then I still outspeed both of the Bulu and the granted, I don't get a Belly Drum up, but I still am able to take out the Slowbro the following turn, get a lot of chip onto the whatever comes in, go for a Recycle, and then I could just get the Poison Jab off into the Bulu. I would have been in a way better position. I don't know. I am done with this episode. I really do apologize. It's not the best episode. I have to get my internet issues fixed because obviously this router isn't working out too well. I never had an issue with Sun and Moon before. Anyway, guys, I'll see you all later. Thank you for watching. I really do appreciate it if you made this far. Peace.